Don't know if you can see this. This is a strawberry, but look at that. You say, well, Miss Gale, always in nature you find maldeformations occasionally. True, but listen, guys, I've been around many, many years, and I never seen this many. Not all at once, not constant. And I've grown here in this area, gardens. I've lived in this area quite a bit and raised my kids. And it's not just the area. Yeah, you tell me what you think it is. Well, you can kind of see the bubbling and the curling, especially back there, here. And that was a pepper. These are my cucumbers, but look how that leaf this is one leaf. It's just kind of curled back in on itself. See that? And these leaves are doing it too in a different form. There's no pattern, it just destroys the leaves. That's just pollen on there, that white stuff. There's a lot of pine pollen, but look how it's deformed that leaf. Interesting enough, my medicinal herbs and stuff don't seem to be as affected as all the rest of the plants. They seem to have something to be able to fight it a little bit, which I think is very interesting. This here's my valerian. I don't see anything abnormal on it. Isn't it pretty? Yeah. You know, we are basically God's garden, and there's a lot of abnormalities in God's garden too. And we're His people, and we have a lot of bad things in our lives, a lot of warped. We're warped. We're not where we need to be. Our leaves are curling back and distorted, much like my cucumbers and other plants. That's a kajari plant coming up. I planted several seeds. That's the only one. So I planted a few more here the other day. They haven't come up yet. Yeah, we are very distorted from the way we should be, but I want to tell you something really, really exciting. I think we're getting much, much closer to a point where we're going to go back to the perfect garden. We're going to be in a beautiful place where people, plants won't be warped, won't be deformed, won't be suffering. Many in God's garden are suffering the diseases of sin in this world. And just sometimes it's not necessarily that the person is sinning, but we're under the curse of sin. We have been since the time of Adam and Eve. And yeah, it's like these little zucchinis. That one in the back, both side leaves, it's still growing, but they were so eaten off by a bug, much like, now that I know what it was, some sort of something munched on those. And it's kind of like Satan seeking whom he may devour in this life, in this world. And he's really been devouring some people. And it's not the way it's going to be soon. We're not going to see people suffering. One of the worst things in the animal kingdom, and I wished I'd never laid eyes on it. I got to see a clip of the video about the beagles from Fauci's, Dr. Fauci's labs. I've never seen anything suffer so horribly in my life, and they were doing it on purpose to them, and I just wanted to cry. Matter of fact, I did a little bit, and it just turned my stomach more than anything. And there's people suffering diseases and all kinds of stuff in our world. But there's glimpses of beauty if you look. And those glimpses of beauty, like that little purple bean blossom, it's really quite pretty. And that gives us a glimpse of the way things should be. Things should be beautiful and perfect, not distorted, like this leaf is distorted here. See how that's distorted and wrinkled? It shouldn't be that way. It should be perfect like this leaf here. Perfect and flat and beautiful. And one day it's going to be. Try as hard as it may, that little pepper plant, it's got some wrinkles on it too. But it's trying really hard to be a good pepper plant. I can see that it is. It's growing, even though some of its leaves are getting wrinkled. It's trying really hard. And we need to try hard for one another, for our family, for just to please the Lord because He loves us. But that's not going to get us to heaven. We can't be good enough for heaven. That's why we need Jesus Christ in our life. That's why God sent Jesus Christ, so that we could fool the devil. We could say, you know we were ruined, but you couldn't ruin Jesus. You couldn't ruin Jesus. Will you all come along with me one day in heaven, and we'll walk beautiful streets of gold? We'll see things perfect as they should be. And we won't want that gold because it's worth a lot, but just because of the beauty of it and because it's what God gave us that's so perfect. May God bless you all. May your lives be filled with beauty. And I hope one day to see you in heaven when we walk on streets and through gardens that don't have malformations. Bye for now. We'll catch you next time.